Hey guys, I'm back from my break with another Bruce Box update, so let's get started. So I tried not to look at any Pokemon yesterday, but a friend did ask me about Temporal yesterday, and I saw that it did rise to about $200. So now we're at the point where Paradox and Temporal are pretty much $200 Bruce Boxes. One pretty much 198, just to round up slightly. Yeah, I told you guys that these were pretty undervalued booster boxes. They were just no brainers. The momentum of the boxes were had good signs. Like no, there weren't too many boxes. They'd already gone drew a lot of box selling out, like heavy tag plant boxes, Hull SQ plant boxes. Um, and even now, like there's only so many boxes at the 198 mark. Actually, there's literally only three boxes, and it goes to actually 200 for Paradox. It could go slightly higher than that. I'm not really focusing on like that much appreciation, but like I do see over here, I see a 208 after all these other boxes are bought, which isn't really that many. If you count 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 15, 16 boxes until 208. Actually, there's a 208 already. It's actually a little faster than that. It's like 11 boxes until 207. So, yeah, Paradox is looking at good momentum. The only caveat to that is that demand actually kind of went down last couple of days. I last saw this at 8 boxes, which is down from like the more normal. Kind of it was at like 25 30 for a while. It went to like 15 to 20, and now it's like more like 5 to 10. It kind of makes sense as the price goes up, but yeah, if demand slows down too much, then getting through these boxes is going to be more difficult. And then the quantity listed by the sellers will increase. And then for Temporal's demand has been more consistent. I do see that March 22nd, so the other day, um, 24 boxes bought, which had pretty much, I think, pretty much a big impact on the market price. I think someone just bought up a lot of the boxes, or people in general bought a lot of the cheaper boxes. And then it went to 197, and yeah, it's not too far from 200. 200 is about here. That is like 4 boxes. And then at the bottom of this page, still 200. I'll just go to the next page just to see. I do see after this we get to about 206 to 207. So it looks a little similar to Temporal to Paradox. There's just some slight differences. There's a little more quantity, but the buying rate is a little more consistent, higher. Um, Paradox might have like less boxes to go up, but yeah, both, and also Temporal is a more desired set and it has less reprints. So both of them seem like they're I wouldn't be surprised if they went below, like they dropped again. But yeah, it's been pretty strong, and at this point, with those two entering the essentially $200 mark, they're not quite at $200, and it is a big milestone for them to reach 200 because I've seen boxes like Stellar Crown, Obsidian Flames like take forever to actually cross that $200 threshold. Like they only did that very recently. So until that happens, that's another milestone. But if I treat these as $200 booster boxes, the only other booster boxes below $200 are Scarlet Base and Battle Styles. I guess so. Vivid Voltage dropped to 195. It's been about 200 before, but yeah, the thing with Scarlet Base is a little interesting. So I like to look at the sales data and just my understanding of the market in general to just kind of see like public perception and see like where's like the shift going. Like I have an idea where the shift is going in general. Like in 10 years, like Surging Sparks is probably not going to be the cheapest booster box. Um, but yeah, for Scarlet Base, it's interesting because there's a lot of boxes listed. It's a pretty old set, so like um, it's showing that a lot of the people who have it are at least listed. Does that make sense? Um, I see Heavy Tech back here with 3 boxes, but I see like a lot of lower price sellers over here. Just like it's not like anyone here is putting up a ton of boxes unless Heavy Tech is doing something where it's trying to be sneaky. I do see Heavy Tech TF one TCG low people who are on multiple boxes for lower listings, but like even if I go to the bottom of this page, it goes to 190, which it's been there before. Like Scarlet's still going pretty slow, at least the base set. It's been 190 around here, so it seems like people are trying to sell off their boxes a little bit. I don't know if it's really the greatest idea. I know that Scarlet Violet isn't really known for like people wanting to open it right now as much. because it's just not as fun. Like a lot of people will just buy for a long term. So I feel like it's more of a sort of long term investor sort of box. Um, and that might be why. And also, some people have held it for so long that they just want to get rid of it. Like, there's definitely a negative perception of Scala Vibe base because it's just not. It's one of the better base sets, but it's still actually not really the greatest. Like, people aren't really that excited to open it versus other things like other like. There's the reason why people want to open the other boxes is because like there's chases and better cards overall. Like Surging Sparks, Pikachu, Southern Crown has Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Twilight has a Greninja. Uh, like Temporal, like I was thinking, I was like, I don't fully remember the polls as much because there's not like just one really good poll. Like Paldea has a Magikarp, but yeah, as of right now, I feel like Skybot is kind of on sale. Um, like it's not really the best, the worst pickup, and if you want something to appreciate, but if whether it's going to appreciate the most, yeah, that's a pretty good question. But it's definitely going to cross around 200 at some point. Like I want, if I even I say this year, like this year is so long, that's a pretty safe statement. Um, Paldea is interesting because Paldea's price has been pretty stagnant around the 225 for a while, and the demand kind of dropped, like even to like the I see $5 here, but even like to like the tens, and now the last 2 days it went up to 17 and 22, and what I'm seeing with that sort of pace, yeah, like there's not a lot of boxes at this 225 mark. There's only three boxes. One of them has 0% feedback, although that could be some people. Sometimes these are just sellers who haven't been there for a while. People will buy them anyway. But you go back to like 228 and then 230, and even 233 at the bottom here. So I don't see anyone listing a ton of Paldea boxes like normal. There's 200 boxes of Paldea, which is a little high, but not nothing too terrible. You see just over here, like, yeah, more Paldea has been like sold recently. Um, so Paldea might be back on to like gain some momentum. The price point I'm looking for is kind of surpass about 240 or to consistently be in like the 235s. If it can do that, then it's definitely a significant thing. Otherwise, like yeah, it's not really breaking new price points like in the next like day or two based on this data. Um, unless something really extreme happens, or like I'd have to really count up all these boxes and really just calculate that. Um, but yeah, I've just seen it so many times where like you feel like it's close to like making a new high, which honestly, when I look at these numbers, it's not really that far away. Um, but yeah, I had to see it first. I do think that with all the boxes going past 200, um, people like Paldea has to go up because Paldea is already more valuable. Like if you have to choose between like buying any booster box under 215 now for except maybe Twilight for 215 or buying Paldea at like 225. I think most people would choose like Paldea at 225. It just makes more sense. So at some point, like it's just there's gonna be just like a base cost for like any booster box, and you're like, okay, so which one should I get? Because I don't really mind paying $20 more if it's a better product. Plus people just want open Paldea. Okay, so Twilight's been going down. Um, yeah, it's Twilight. All right, so for Twilight Masquerade, it's been going down, and the buying rate hasn't been. It's actually been pretty decent to be honest. It's been kind of consistent at like 15 to like 10 to 15 a day. There's still quite a lot of boxes, but I think that there's some um lister who just has a ton of boxes, like hundreds of boxes. I'm not gonna scroll out to confirm that, but I have seen that happen with Twilight before. Um, it feels like it's nothing too terrible that it's at 210 right now, because if you scroll down it does go back up to like 214 to 216 pretty easily, especially at that buying rate. There's not like a ton of box here. See, there's five, it's seven, and then there's like 11 box here. So I guess like this magic monster cards will like have some resistance at the 214 price. um it's just kind of low for Twilight, and also considering that all the booster boxes are going up, I feel like that there's just a little less interest in Twilight right now, and there's some people wanting to offload their boxes, um, and at the same time, there's people who are trying to pick up the cheaper booster boxes like Paradox and Temporal because like some people do care about that, and these like Twilight's like floundering a little bit, like it's going up and down, and so like even getting at 210, you're like, oh, is it gonna go back down and get that price? Like possibly, versus like Paradox and Temporal probably feel like they're not gonna like stay at these prices for as long. So like there's just probably some sentiment happening. With Paldea, you see like a little more demand happening, and you still see quite a bit of demand for Twilight. It's just that there's enough sellers right now that are willing to take their profits for whatever reason. Um, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is related to like things like joining together or like people also needing capital because I'm sure like a lot of people are holding onto their Twilight boxes because they knew that it would probably go up, and at this point like they might need to sell. It just makes sense to sell Twilight. Like it doesn't have the worst demand. It's a little easy to move, and people actually want it and sells for a high price. So yeah, but I don't think this will last forever. It's just yeah, Twilight's in a weird sort of slow phase right now. Stellar Crown went down. Um, it's about 212, so nothing too major. Like the highest it was 214, but these past 5 or 6 days, it's been at least 212 pretty consistently. Ever since it, and it went from like 199 to 202, 205. So once it's reached 212, it hasn't dropped from that. The thing with Stellar is that I think the demand is getting kind of low. Like I'm waiting for this bar to go away so I can actually see the heights more accurately. I guess that'll just be a couple more days, but yeah, 3 and 6. Like three sold yesterday and a six sold the other day, and then three versus before. I think it was more consistently around like 10, like 8 to 10. So it's just a little lower. I think that there's also a few more boxes on the market. I think there was like 100 at some point, and now it's like 145. To see like as for price increases, let's see like getting like yeah, there's nothing really past 214 or 215 on this page. So it's like quite a bit of boxes for that demand. So like Stellar is slowing down. Um, I still think it's popular enough that um, it's definitely doing pretty well. Like no one thought Stellar would do this well. A lot of people didn't think Stellar would do this well. Um, but yeah, it is definitely slowing down right now. So it might not be the most need to buy box right now in that sense. But people do like that Squirrel and Bulbasaur, and people do like opening it because it's a smaller set versus like like anti example is Prismatic, where like you get like no cards and you spend so much money. So it's just more of enjoyable. And then Surging Sparks seems to be still around 255 price. I know it went down 250 before. Actually, I took a break and recorded this video, and I saw 257 earlier, and it went to 255 all of a sudden. So it seems like it's sticking around this price. I'm not really worried about Surging Sparks. The demand still seems pretty fine. Usually around at least 15, $20 a day. And yeah, people just keep wanting to open it. A lot of people have not opened Surging Sparks, and there's people who say that they'll stop and they still want to chase the Pikachu. So um, it's just like it's just too good. Um, and Sword and Shield, I kind of have some new takes on Sword and Shield with the current sentiment. I feel like Chilling Reign and Evolving Skies are doing better than I thought, and other boxes are just completely slowing down. So let me just go into this. I'll get the quick ones out of the way. Sword and Shield Base, Rebel Clash, haven't had any recent activity. Darkness Ablaze. So some boxes are selling a little bit. It's still just kind of stuck at this 214 price. Vivid Voltage. The thing with Vivid Voltage that's really interesting is there's only 62 boxes, and I know that like it hasn't been that long since it sold on Pokemon Center. But that means that a lot of people have these, like they're just holding them. So I know that there's still like quite a bit of supply of Vivid Voltage. It's just yeah, even it dropped to 195, but there's only one seller there. It's still like a $200 booster box. Um, so I don't know, like I don't know what's the deal with that. Like I just feel like any day people could just list their Vivid Voltage booster boxes that they have, because I don't think it's as scarce, um, as like this is appearing. But I do think it deserves to be above $200, so it's kind of on its way, and it is selling like more recently. You see like a few more spikes, like a 7, a 12, and a 5 yesterday. So I don't think it's the most hottest investment or anything, but it's definitely going up versus like Battle Styles, which had more and sold out later. But yeah, it has 126. It's at 185.99. It's pretty crazy that it's pretty much the cheapest. Like it's almost the cheapest booster box like out of Sword and Shield and Scarlet Violet. Like SC base kind of is lower than it right now, but there are some days where SC base is gonna surpass it, and Battle Size is still the lowest one. It's pretty insane. But yeah, I'm not really expecting Battle Styles to move up that soon. So Chilling Reign though, so my target, I have like a target price for these higher these Sword and Shield boxes of like what's like an actual new price high, what's something that, because these Sword and Shield boxes especially they move to a range because they're so high price and they're so like infrequent buying activity. So my price for Chilling Reign is that I see on the graph that the previous high was about like 342. So my target price is about 350 because it keeps oscillating between like high 200s to like about 324, 325. So you see right now it's at 325. Um, and yeah, I would see like it would go up and then go back down. So it's like 325 is nothing exciting to me. When I look at this, like after like this three, like after this like 325 ish over here, like at the bottom of the list, it does go to like 375. Um, and the buying rate isn't like it's not like it went up dramatically. It's kind of up a little bit. Like there's three over here, there's four over here. Um, but yeah, like if people were to just actually buy like this is only 5 boxes, 6 boxes, seven, eight, like 8 boxes until 350, which is my target price, which feels like it's a lot closer than before. I don't know if I just wasn't keeping track of it well enough, but it seems like there's definitely a shift in this in the chilling rate department. I think some of it's also that the the box rate was so low selling, it was more like one a day. That even selling one a day, it's like I just have to look at the first couple of boxes because it's like, hey, if like one, two, three, four, like this is like a week, so like I don't have to like over check it because like, hey, this will take 5 days to sell. I'm sure I'll notice it at some point. But over here, if it's like three a day, that changes things, and I definitely do see like reaching 374 is like quite a significant milestone. And like the interesting thing with Chilling Rain is like you like never see packs of it anywhere. Um, the only thing I see with Chilling Rain is the 2 pack blister from Target. Sometimes people get Fusion Strike and Chilling Rain. Otherwise, like there's no real product that I see people getting Chilling Rain in. So it's just kind of strange. Like that's such a rare item is like it's so stagnant sometimes to me. And Evolving Skies the same way. Like forgot the target price for Evolving Skies was like 13. That's it. Yeah, 1382. Is kind of the previous high about. So it's about 1400 for me for Evolving Skies. And the buying rate has been going up lately a little bit. You see, um, it's four over here, this one, two over here. Um, so this might not be as obvious. Like it kind of just depends. Actually, I think I was looking at the 3 month graph when I saw the buying rate increase. So that might be it. But yeah, I think Chilling Rain is more of a case for this, but if it goes to the bottom of this list, I do see it goes to 1400 um, over here. So yeah, the buying rate still is a little too slow for that. So I take back what I say about Evolving Skies, but if this does pick up, then um, we will see like closer to previous high. Like even 1350 is still a pretty good like price increase compared to what it was before. It just keeps stagnating in this like 1300 range. Um, yeah. And then the rest of the box, a lot of them are slowing down. Fusion Strike, the Bray is too slow. Um, and target price has 500, and it's still on this list over here, about here. But at 1 box a day recently, it's a little too slow. Brilliant Stars, it's starting to recover. You see all this white space over here, but it's only selling 1 box a day. It's actually going down. Um, if I go to the actual price increases and decreases, social base down 5, Vulture down 5, Battle Styles up like 10, Shimmering up like let's say 15 and 20. Bonus guys, that looks like a huge increase, but that happens all the time. Actually, 1250 was too low. $3 for bonus for fusion increase. Brilliant Stars been down about $3. Lost Origin goes down $1, and then Silver Tempest goes down about $5. Astral Radiance has had no recent activity, so it's kind of stuck. Um, but yeah, like it's not too far from 180. It's 280. It's kind of stuck at that demand. Lost Origin keeps fluctuating under like the 403 price. It's starting to look a little better. Like target price is like 410, but yeah, if it keeps up to 3 boxes a day, it can do that. Um, and Silver Tempest, demand has been pretty decent compared to other boxes. Usually at least 3 boxes a day a lot of days, sometimes two. Um, and the main reason that why the price decreased was because of this one seller's welcome home cards for these three. But after that, just go back to 273 to 75. But Silver Tempest doesn't really have large price increases. Um, at the moment, but I still like the set because of the Lugia. All right, that's it for today's video. Thanks, guys. Bye.